Look around. The world you know, it's a story someone else wrote. A story that keeps you boxed in, locked inside roles and rules that don't serve you. You hustle, you grind, chasing the next deal, the next intro, the next nod of approval. But deep down, something's gnawing at you. Something's missing. This isn't freedom. This isn't power. It's just a cage with a shiny lock, and no one handed you the key. You might have heard whispers, felt the stirrings. Why now? Why is everyone scrambling to become a venture partner? Because it's not just about the title anymore. It's about breaking the story, shaking the cage, reclaiming the fire that's inside you, buried beneath years of should, have to, and what's expected. Here's the brutal truth. The system was never built for the exceptional, for the rare breed who see past the noise. It values comfort, consensus, and conformity. The safe bets, the slow movers, the ones who play their roles well enough to stay in the game, but never change it. You didn't sign up for that. You didn't build your life around it. And now you see it, raw and unfiltered. The uncomfortable reality that the rules you live by are just guidelines for keeping the herd tame, not for forging breakthroughs. The rise of the venture partner isn't some trend. It's the crack in the old world where something new is bleeding through, because the old world wants simple titles: founder, CEO, investor. But those roles are fragments of identities forged in past dogmas. What you're chasing is beyond the names. It's control. It's sovereignty. It's a claim to your own power, on your own terms. It's choosing who you align with, what battles you fight, and refusing to be another brick in the wall built by someone else's vision. This path, it's not for the comfortable or the compliant. It's the path of those who refuse to wait for permission anymore, who see the cracks and walk straight through, who know that to invent the future, they first have to unlearn the present. Unlearning is the hardest part. It tears down foundations you thought solid, shakes your sense of self, and demands you stand naked in the truth of your own ambitions. Ambitions too wild for the boardroom, too sharp for polite conversations, too real for the narrative sold to the masses. When everyone's rushing to become a venture partner, they're not just chasing an opportunity, they're chasing liberation. Because becoming a venture partner can mean escaping constraints, gaining leverage not just over money, but over your own destiny, finding leverage in relationships that don't drain but multiply your force. But that opportunity will slip through the fingers of those chasing it blindly, following the herd, or those addicted to the comfort of past formulas. The real winners, the ones who last, know it's a game of becoming, not having. Becoming sovereign in your decisions, ruthless in your pursuit of truth, and patient enough to play the long game that no one else sees. In a world drowning in noise, the edge is the only place where progress lives. This edge isn't packed boardrooms or IPO announcements. It's the lonely conversations at 3 a.m. with the one person who gets your vision, the rare few who burn with the same fire, who challenge you to redefine what's possible. The system can't create these connections, not real ones. It churns out a marketplace of contacts, but no real synergy. The magic happens when the misaligned connect, when brilliance meets its complement, when isolation breaks and raw power starts flowing. That's where revolution is born, not in broad networks, but in sharp, focused webs of people who refuse to blend in. You've likely felt it, the frustration when meetings feel like theater, the slog of politics disguised as progress, the moments where your soul screams, "This is not the life for me." The truth is, the world rewards mediocrity dressed as safety, while punishing boldness disguised as risk. But boldness doesn't mean chaos. It means clarity. It means aligning yourself with a code that's simple yet radical. Own your will. Question everything, even your own beliefs. Create your reality, not the one handed to you. Choose your allies ruthlessly, because the right ones don't just back you, they lift you. And above all, play the long game. Because anything worth building outlives quick wins and ego trips. True freedom does not come from fitting in. True freedom comes from breaking down to rebuild, from shedding the comfortable lies that smile at you but choke your potential. It's a liberation that feels scary because it pulls you from the familiar into the unknown. But that unknown is where your real life waits, where your rare talent and vision don't just survive, they thrive. This is not about quick fame or fleeting deals. It's about crafting a life that's yours in every sense, about building a network where your power multiplies, where difference is honored, and strength is forged by contrasting perspectives. If you want to be that venture partner who changes the game, here's what must happen. First, embrace discomfort. Drop the need to be liked. Drop the need to play by the rules that never fit. Instead, own your path. This means learning to say no with power, not out of fear, but out of clarity. Focus your time, energy, and capital only on the rare few who ignite your fire. Not just because they're promising deals, but because they challenge, inspire, and sharpen your edge. The quality of your connections will determine the quality of your breakthroughs. Second, be ruthlessly patient. An empire doesn't rise overnight. Every giant was once invisible, doubted, even ridiculed. This patience isn't passive waiting, it's active becoming. Every idea tested, every relationship nurtured, every insight absorbed adds layers until your power is undeniable. The market's noise will tempt you to trade this for quick wins, but resist. Legacy is made in the shadows of slow, steady growth. Third, be voracious in unlearning. What got you to where you are today might be your biggest obstacle tomorrow. The venture partner who thrives is the one who constantly questions, how does this deal serve the future I see? Does this alliance fuel my becoming? Am I clinging to old measures of success that no longer fit? It's painful but necessary. Let go of the past to make room for what's coming. Fourth, recognize that owning your will is owning your weapon. Decisions without ownership are just noise. When you make a move, make it like it defines you, because it does. Invest not just capital, but wisdom, empathy, and integrity. Distill every choice down to its essence. Does this bring me closer to my vision or further from it? Finally, remember, this is a movement, not a moment. The real power of venture partners is in the network, the invisible thread that connects the rare, the misunderstood, the misaligned, binding them together into a force impossible to ignore. You are not alone even when it feels like it. Seek those who burn as you do, and build your own infrastructure of power. The old system failed to give you space. Now create your own. So, if there's a fire inside you that refuses to die, if there's a silent scream that you were made for more than playing small, then lean in. The world you inherit will be the one you dare to build. Don't become the next shiny title chasing someone else's script. Become the author of your own narrative. Carve your sovereignty with every step. Challenge the comfortable lies and craft a future only you can see. And know this, the journey will be hard. It'll demand everything. But the freedom you gain, it's the only kind worth having. Because when the rare few align, nothing, no system, no limitation, no false promise, can hold the power back. That is why the real ones, the bold ones, the fire bearers, are rushing to become venture partners now. Not for status, for liberation, for becoming, for rewriting the rules on their own terms. And now it's your move.